So with Bruno Matzdorf from Sony Computer Entertainment America.
And tell us a little bit more what you're doing here in Brazil.
Yeah, so over here in Brazil, I'm basically trying to help the incubation program. I'm looking for developers that want to join the console arena. And, I'm basically looking for anybody that's interested in working in consoles, has not worked in consoles in the past, and wants to build a relationship with us.
All right, you told us in your speech, but can you speak a little bit about what do I have to show you, or what do I have to be an incubation company?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's not a list of things that you need to show me or have, or any of our any of our personnel that's working in this program. Ideally, what we're looking for is a team that's already making games for either Flash platforms, advert type gaming, any Java platform, anything that can make a game, but it's not a PlayStation console yet. And if you're interested enough to working on our console, there's going to be a series of questions, some formulas that you need to fill out for us to get more information from you. And this type of information really just gives us a direction as to who we're dealing with, what type of group we're working with. It will also give us an idea of what you're trying to accomplish from being an incubator. So when we find a team that's already making games and they apply for incubation, really the only thing that we're looking for is what is it that they want to accomplish by incubating. And at that point, it's a two-way conversation that we have in order to figure out what the best solution is, what the incubation goal is really going to be. Our goal is basically to make you a licensed developer eventually. Once that legal paperwork is ready, it's not ready yet. Having had the experience of incubation will give you that extra step, when you're applying to become a licensee, because you will have the experience on the platform. You will have a lot of knowledge you didn't have before. You will know all the things you didn't know before about how you work on this console.
That's great. And what do you think the Brazilian industry needs to really boom,
That's a good question. I'll answer this question purely from the development perspective. It's hard for me to answer just from the pure industry, the commercial side of things. But if I'm looking at what developers need, I think one thing that you guys really needed was hardware, access to the hardware, access to the SDKs, access to us, the Sony people that are working on this. And we can share a lot of this knowledge and help you speed up this process to the point where you can actually, work on our platforms. And that was a big thing that was missing. We are very interested to see what types of games, Brazilian developers make. We're interested to see what types of workflows work well for you guys. We have learned a lot in the last 12, 14 years in our industry, and applying some of these techniques and showing these techniques to you guys and giving you guys a kind of like a speed up work on avoid all these things that people have already avoided. I'm trying to shrink 12 years of experience into 2 or 3 years, right? So we think that once you guys are exposed to this, the Brazilian market will just take off. And of course, from my perspective, always a developer that's where your content is coming from. Without content, you don't have a platform. Without platform, there's no industry. So it's very important to come from the developer perspective on this to answer this question.
Then again, you said in your speech about something from the games made in Brazil to have our own characteristics, What do you think we should put in our games so they can be recognized as a Brazilian game?
That I would definitely have Mike answer that, because Mike was the one talking about what type of content we're looking for. Me personally, I would like to see, there's very different things that I see in Brazil, the music, everything that's just, it makes it very Brazilian, the way the characters move, I'm sure it's going to be very different. So I'm interested to see some of these things. I also want to see, for rhythm games, I like music games, so for any type of rhythm game, what is it that, a Brazilian developer could do? That could be really interesting. And the other thing that I'm really appreciating down here in Brazil is the fact that every developer that I talk to is really tied to academia and very, very thinking about how really to grow their industry, not just themselves. It's a big connection there, which I've really appreciated. So.
About piracy, it's a kind of a bad thing we have here in Brazil, and I think it's a big problem for the industry here. Do you think we have a solution for that, or these games distributed on the web that you buy? You think that's a good thing for piracy?
I won't talk too much about this because we have people that dedicate themselves to working on these issues with publishers and everything. But I think it's very clear that having something like PSN is going to help piracy because it makes you want to be a part of the community, right? It makes you want to be logged in. It makes you want to be legal on the software that you download. So in a way, this is something that we have to work with the whole industry on working out. But piracy exists, and there's many reasons for it. I don't think it'll ever stop. But the more people really want to play with our machine and have that experience, I think it's going to take care of itself.
All right, thank you very much for the interview. And can you say hello for the viewers in starselect.com.br?
Yeah, absolutely. So Star Select, come see us more often.
Thank you very much.